113th meeting, 73-34-5 overall. But they have the most important one, which was last year. They won the last one. So give Coach Kill and his guys credit. A lot of great things. I mean, all that. Do me a favor, though. Let's not make this story about what Eddie was talking about, because we're prepared for a great event. Let's make it about what it is, the football game. It's awesome. I mean, we had metal detectors in basketball last year. It was never a problem. So it's not something that we haven't done. So let's talk about what's going to happen on Saturday. There's a lot. One of the greatest football players to ever play at the University of New Mexico. And a lot of people, when I was a kid, I mean, a childhood hero of mine, he's one of 6 that has his name up there. One of only 2 in the history, 125 teams that have played Lobo football, to be inducted into College Football Hall of Fame. Terence Mathis will be here on Friday in town. He'll have an opportunity to talk to our football team and his passion about this game. And then we're going to recognize him. A lot of this football game will be about Terence Mathis. When you can become one of the only 2 people to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame, that's pretty dang special. Obviously, he did some unbelievable things here as a football player, went on to play for the Atlanta Falcons, the New York Jets, had a great NFL career, has been unbelievable as a Lobo. And so it's a great opportunity and a great honor to represent Terence Mathis on Saturday and honor him again. I mean, he's already been up there in the Ring of Honor, but we get to do it again. And then we'll get to do it again in December, on December 5th, when we go to Las Vegas for the College Football Hall of Fame induction. So that's awesome. On Saturday, you see this 9/11 yesterday, and all the people that gave their lives and sacrificed, they'll never be forgotten. A lot of our kids weren't even born when that event happened, which is crazy, because it still seems like just yesterday. We were supposed to play New Mexico State that week that it happened on that Tuesday morning. We will have the American flag down the center of our stripe representing that. We have a young man on our team, Hunter Sellers, who was actually born on 9/11/2001. We have another young man, Diarco, who's not playing Saturday, but he was born on 9/11/2002. So we've got a couple of 9/11 babies on there. So that is just to honor. We had a great event yesterday. ROTC ran the stairs to represent the 1,100 stairs that the New York Fire Department climbed. So that's just a tribute to them, to know that they haven't been forgotten. Obviously, this Lobo, we talked about it last year. This is the Lobo that was on Terence Mathis's helmet. It's a great opportunity to represent the past in this great rivalry. We've got the Rio Grande Down Syndrome Buddy Walk is tomorrow, which the festivities will take place over at Santa Ana Star, or Saturday, will take place from 3 to 6 o'clock. It's the Rio Grande Down Syndrome Buddy Walk. It's a huge fundraiser for individuals with Down syndrome. This right here is the Down syndrome. I talked to Coach Kill. New Mexico State helmets will have that Down syndrome logo on it as well, which is really cool. Coach Kill, who came up in a similar, Dennis Franchione, who played here, Coach Kill has relations back to him. That's my relationship to Coach Kill. When I called him, he said, "You didn't even have to ask, Coach. I mean, we're all in." So that stuff is bigger in football, which is awesome, because I know it's 2 teams that really have great passion against each other, but that's coming together as a human being, and that's some really cool stuff. We have our Extraordinary Lobos camp during the summer. It's for individuals with disabilities. I call them different abilities. They come and they do things with our kids, our football team, our softball players, our swimmers, cheerleaders. They're all at the camp, and we do different drills and have fun with those kids. And most of those kids, it's individuals with autism. It's individuals with Down syndrome. It doesn't matter the disability. Everybody, they're different abilities. They're more alike than different. And so it's an opportunity for our kids to see our football players, to see that they're going to work with these individuals one day, and they should work together. They're more alike than different. And that afternoon is an awesome deal. Well, the majority of those kids, almost every single one of them, would never have the opportunity to play Division I football or to play Division I basketball or to be represented in that way. And so we have 34 individuals with some type of disability that their name, and this is Dylan Hopkins' jersey for Saturday, Francisco Violante. He's a young man that has acute flaccid myelitis. Okay, he had a cold when he was younger, and it was a virus infection that attacked his spinal cord. He's in a power chair, doesn't have a lot of mobility from the neck down. He competed in our camp. He was able to, we were able to put the ball, he was able to kick the ball and all those things. He's never going to get the opportunity to play Division I football. But we'll have this jersey, and it'll be given to their families when the game's over. There'll be 34 of them. Conference was all about it. Eddie and David have been really awesome. The kids were really, really excited. Our kids were really, really excited to represent somebody. My little one, Abby, has Down syndrome. DJ Washington he attacked her right away. They've had a little fun relationship, so he'll be there. My little one has type 1 diabetes. Chloe, my 11-year-old. Her cousin, Josh Howes, will wear her name. So there's a lot of really cool opportunities for these kids to be represented. It's another factor in just be a kind human being and help somebody an opportunity that they'll never have. And those kids that were at the camp were really, really excited about it. Their parents probably even more so. So great opportunity. And that is separate from the Rio Grande Down Syndrome Buddy Walk. Okay, those are two different events. So a lot of great things. The actual most important reason we're here, the football game. Let's chat about that a little bit. All-time record, what was it, Frank? 44,146? Okay. Eddie talked about it. You were expecting over 30,000 people. Why are we not breaking that record? I'm asking the city of Albuquerque. I'm asking the city of Las Cruces. Why are we not going to break the biggest sporting event record in the history for attendance? I know we're prepared for it as a staff and university. And I think you've got two really good football teams that their coaches like. I know Coach Kill likes his football team and thinks they're going to compete in Conference USA and contend for a bowl game. And I like our football team, and I think we're going to compete in the Mountain West Conference, and we're going to contend for a bowl game. First time I've said it. I think we have enough talent to. We got to coach them, and we got to make plays and stay healthy. But you got two teams that are good football teams. This rivalry in 113 meetings has not oftentimes had two teams that think that they have good talent and they're good football teams. Transfer portal's helped out a little bit. But why not come to University Stadium and fill this place up and set an all-time record? We've got all kinds of great atmosphere activities. You guys saw it last week. Our marketing department and our video department, all those things that we've talked about around here for a long time. All the lights. It was pretty cool when we're scoring all those points in the second half when the lights are going off and the kids are having fun and you got sparklers. We're going to have a great fireworks show after the game. There's everybody talks about wanting to have a circus-like atmosphere. Well, you've got it. And if you come to the game, you can make it all that much better. Enjoy tailgating. Be responsible. All those things they talked about. 2 years ago when we had this game, Cesar Chavez, that row was backed up. It was a long wait. We can't make Cesar Chavez bigger until we have a reason to, okay? Will said this is going to be the biggest one for both states. I don't agree. If these two teams can continue to win, why not make San Jose State 40,000? Why not make – now, the biggest crowd ever in the history of this in the state is between these two schools. So you're probably right, Will. I'll give you that credit. But why? Why stop there? Why? Let's build something special. We've talked about it for a long time. Let's build something special, okay? Coach Gill has a good football team. They came off a tough loss to Liberty. They've got a young man that plays quarterback from Volcano Vista that grew up in Albuquerque, led NIMI to a junior college national championship. He's a heck of a competitor. Led them to a bowl victory last year. Diego Pavia is a good football player. He's a tough guy. He's talented. I did not offer him a scholarship to the University of New Mexico. I didn't recruit him. I thought we were in a different situation. Did I make a mistake? I tell every single New Mexico kid, prove me wrong. He did. He is a big-time player, and I'm excited to have the opportunity. He didn't get the opportunity to play in the game last year, so he's going to be fired up. It'll be a great atmosphere to come in here and play at a high level, which he's been able to do. Eli Stowers presents some different problems defensively, schematically with what they do with him. So we've got some challenges. They've got some speed. They've done a good job. I talk about it all the time. If you want to be a good coach, get good players. Coach Gill's done a good job of that. Monte Watkins can run. He can fly. They've got some weapons that they've been able to do some things with. On defense, Nate Dreiling, and once again, really, really prayers to his family and to Alexa. I know they started their battle with chemo last week, and we're praying hard for him. That's a battle that she's going to win, and we're going to be praying for Nate and his family throughout the entire journey. I'll shake his hand and before the game and say a little prayer with him, and then tell him I'm going to try and whoop his tail just like he's going to try and whoop mine. And that's all about being a competitor and having a great camaraderie out on the field. Defensively, they do some really good things. They've got two big old defensive ends that they angled in to come get the quarterback. They do some really good things, exotic on third down to try and get pressure on the quarterback. They've done a pretty good job in coverage. They've got a true freshman out there that's played really well in the first 3 games. They came out really hot against Liberty in the first half and got after it. Second half, Liberty got the better part of them. And they'll be prepared to come down here on Saturday for one heck of a football game. Now, I didn't even mention Tennessee Tech because I said on Saturday night, we're going to move on. We played well enough to win. We were the better football team, and that is what it is. So I'm excited about the opportunity for the 113th meeting. I hope we have 45,000 people. I said it the other day. I mean, I'll be disappointed. Will we get there? Who knows? But it's a great opportunity with 2 good football teams to come and have a great afternoon with all the stuff that we have, staying behind, enjoy the fireworks show, and do all those good things. So with that, I'll open up with any questions. Awesome.
Talking to players after practice today, and a lot of them were downplaying this game as much as they possibly could, just saying it's just another game. With everything else going on, how much it means to the city, the university, yourself, why do you think the players are downplaying it so much?
I mean, there's a lot of cliche things in sports. It's not a conference game, okay? The most important thing in this program is to win the 5th conference championship. It's a big game for the communities of Albuquerque, the community of Las Cruces, the alumni around the country for these 2 schools. There's a lot of bragging rights involved. There's a lot of, and I hate to use the word hate, and I've used it plenty of times, but there's a lot of hate involved. I mean, there is a lot of that goes into this. Because I grew up here, because I played here, because I'm passionate about it. Our kids know my passion for this. But it's about going 1-0 this week. And we put that focus on our football team in January when we added the 41 new guys, that here's the things that we need to do better. We were a terrible second half football team. We were a terrible offensive football team, okay? We need to be better. We need to fix those things. Well, the game we played on Saturday, we fixed some of them because we had more talent than the team that we played. The team that we're going to play on Saturday is equal talented. So we've got to continue to focus on those things throughout to get better every single week. You make your most improvement between week 1 and 2. It helps when you go from Texas A&M to a team that's not as good as Texas A&M. Okay, so we made a lot of improvement because we had better players. We're going to have to make that improvement from week 2 to week 3 that you would typically make in order to continue to be successful and to grow this program. So their focus is right now, and there's a lot of distractions this week. Red Rally, okay? That's a big deal on Thursday night where we get 3,000 students down there, and it is a very wild environment. That's a distraction to our football team, okay? How do they handle that? There's a lot of all the stuff that you talked about. Reporters putting microphones in their faces trying to get them to say something stupid about the football game. I'm glad they did exactly what you said they didn't do. It is another football game. It's an important game. It's really important to me because I grew up here and I have that passion. A lot of those guys that got to experience it last year, they have that passion. They've been sharing it with our guys. Guys like Jeremiah Hickson, Tito Stafford, Bill, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, those guys have bought into being Lobos in such a huge way, it's already passionate for them. Now, Jeremiah, one of the, he's going to get mad at me too, but one of the UNMSU stupid hashtag things, the knuckle gets an offer from us, and he puts the picture of the Lobos and himself in a New Mexico State jersey and says, "Go Lobos." Okay? That's a kid from Alabama that has no idea what's going on. I won't ever forget that, and he knows it, and he apologizes about it every day, and he's fired up. So that's already entrenched in him, and he hadn't played a single game in this rivalry. So I hope they take that approach. It's a long answer, sorry. Go ahead. Yes and no from now on. What's up? What's the next one? Yes.
Fans seem to take a wait-and-see approach with Lobo athletics. Like we saw with basketball, they started winning, they're selling games out. Is this a wait-and-see moment where you can win some of these fans over and start feeling this way?
Yes. 56-10 should be. So, yes. Great opportunity. Should be 45,000 people in there. Don't wait and see. They saw Saturday. They've seen New Mexico State have success last year, so show up.
Can you speak on the health of both Tavion and Hickson? I mean, I know you said that they would have played on Saturday. had you needed them to, but are you expecting a limited role for them?
Nope, I'm expected a full. They'll both start. We thought about putting Tavian in when Christian Ellis went out with the targeting penalty. With Christian out, it loosens that depth a little bit for the half. But both of them will start and play in a big role, the role that they had going into Texas A&M and what we see further on going down the season.
On the note of health, I think I saw during the open period today, East was out for a little bit, no pads or no helmet. What's going on?
Rest, just trying to get him healthy. He took mental reps through that. Didn't want to bang into him a little bit. East is one of those guys that was my decision because he won't be honest with me and tell me if something hurts. He could have a broken leg and he'd go out there and say, I'm fine. And so to get him healthy 100% for the game, now he'll be in pads tomorrow and all those things, but that was my decision to rest him because he won't do it to himself, which is a good problem to have, by the way. Go ahead, Sam.
2 games in, has there been much adjustment for you and the staff as far as the new clock rule goes with not stopping after first downs?
Not to a defensive guy. I mean, I'd prefer that they never stop the clock. Let's go for 60 minutes, see what happens. Coach V, we're complimentary football, so it hasn't been a big deal. Where it's going to become a big deal is when games are close in the end and you need that time. That's when it's going to become a big deal and when I'd wish it would happen. But it hadn't affected us yet because we played in 2 games that were lopsided, one our way and one the other.
Coach Dylan Hopkins, Offensive Player of the Week for the Mountain West. How are you feeling about that honor that he got pretty early on in the season?
Awesome. This is going to sound crazy. Since I've been the head coach here, it's the 3rd time a quarterback's won the Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week. I mean, go back to Isaiah Chavez in 2020 against Fresno. We did it against this school 2 years ago. And then Dylan on Saturday. Dylan has a chance to be really special. He's a good football player. If the offensive line keeps him healthy, I mean, Dylan's going to hopefully set a bunch of those, tie a bunch of those or break a bunch of those records.
When asked about it, he downplayed it and immediately talked about his teammates. I assume as a head coach, you like seeing that from your quarterback.
Dylan's an unbelievable leader. His voice, his demeanor, the guys like him. He's one of the boys, which when you have a quarterback like that, you have an opportunity to continue to excel and do those things. It's never about Dylan Hopkins, which he's had many of opportunity to make it about him. You bring a transfer in at the semester, and he's one of the guys that you take to media days for the conference in Vegas. That means that kid's done something pretty dang special with the 114 guys on the football team. Because if you bring somebody in and you anoint him, you can destroy your football team. He did that on his own, and that's just who he is. That's pretty cool.
Coach, what is his biggest upside, his most impressive attribute?
I think his arm talent is unbelievable. I mean, he's got the arm ability to play in the NFL. He's been very spoiled with Coach V. I mean, he's been in the same system for 5 years. The last 5 quarterbacks that have played here have been in a different system every year. So now that we've got some continuity right there, that it gives Dylan and our offense the opportunity to be successful at a high level. He's won at a high level, and he's smart, and schematically being in that offense, he knows how to handle that offense. It was like having a coach install the offense on the field. So all positives for him, but you're either talented enough or you're not, especially at that position. And he's pretty dang talented.
You said on Saturday that you thought MSC was better than they were last year.
I do.
And we named some names, Diego, Stowers, the defense as a whole. But where do you see that the most in terms of just evaluating?
I think it's the second year of Coach Kill installing his expectation and standard in that program. Coach Kill's had success everywhere he's been. So he's and I mentioned it earlier. I mean, Dennis Franchione, I think, is one of the greatest builders of programs or rebuilders of programs ever. And a lot of the similar philosophies for expectation, the transfer portal helped Coach Kill significantly, and has helped a lot of teams significantly. It's helped us. They play hard. They're in the second year of schemes with guys that are coming back. They only have 6 seniors. So a lot of those guys were in the program last year other than the transfers. So him holding to his standard and those kids buying in, the success obviously helped. But I think they're more talented than they were last year, and I think they're playing better. Now, they've had 2 games. I mean, Liberty's a good football team, and they had to go all the way across the country. UMass obviously is an improved football team. We get an opportunity at them in 2 weeks. but we'll figure that one out when we get there.
And then we talked about, I mean, you just kind of grazed on it too. I mean, they're 1-2, you're 1-1 right now, but there's a feeling among both programs that they can end up being pretty good teams in a lot of different ways. Does that add something to you and to the coaching staff in particular and the players that, hey, like, this is different than it's been in the past?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it should be different for our fan bases, for both of them. Both of our fan bases should expect to win on Saturday. Both of our fan bases should expect to have good football teams. That's the expectation you want. So now, show up.
Along with the fans, what other things could they be expecting? I know Eddie mentioned a little bit about skydivers coming in at the beginning of the game. Are you able to kind of speak on what that might look like?
I'm worried about the football game. I can tell you that. I mean, we're going to have skydivers. We're going to have a fireworks show at the end of the game is what I was told. We're going to have, I mean, all the stuff that Levy's has been serving. I heard the concessions have been great. I mean, it's going to be a safe environment, and I hope both teams come and tailgate and have a great time responsibly like Eddie asked, and then get in there and yell and scream and be a wild maniac for your team. And I mean, as much as I've said about that school down there, okay, this is about two teams competing against each other on the field. There's no need for the nonsense in the stands to go beyond cheering for your team. There's no need for people to physically get into altercations. That just doesn't make any sense. So come out here, and for all those New Mexico State people that live up here in Albuquerque that drive me crazy, come and cheer on the Aggies. Fill this place up. And all of our Lobos, I mean, I love our fan base. That 17,000 strong that we had Saturday did a phenomenal job. I thought our students were awesome. I thought once we started scoring points in the second quarter and it got a little bit dark and they started doing the lights thing, I mean, it started getting even more and more exciting in there. What can you ask for? No, I take that back. You are getting everything you asked for. So now come and let's have some more fun.
56-10 win on Saturday. It's hard in some ways because a lot of guys are subbing in and out to notice, but I don't think Christian Washington logged a single snap. What kind of happened there with him?
Didn't earn the opportunity to play on Saturday. I mean, guys, Bill's playing really well. Dorian played really, really well. Made a couple mistakes in the kickoff return game, gave other guys opportunity. So nothing. We're going to play the best players that give us a chance to win.
It was directly related to that A&M deal that you expressed.
That practice, a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to do things right all the time. Our best player, we're going to put the best players on the field. He's not. If you're asking if he's suspended or if he's not, no, he just doesn't give us the best chance to win right now. He's talented enough. So if he continues to get better in practice, then he'll be one of those guys.
And then Sam Telesa, I don't think I've ever really asked you about him in particular, at least since the start of fall camp. What is his timeline to maybe return, and what is he currently?
That all depends on UNMH and when we get him in. I know Dr. Veach and them are working their tails off. He's got some back stuff that they're still working through. Ideally, now Sam has a redshirt year, so with the back injury, we're trying to get it to where hopefully at worst we can get him 4 games, and then have him the opportunity to come back next year. Because Sam has been very, very vital to our being mature on this football team. He gets after those guys even though he can't play, and I think one of the greatest things he said is, I would give up everything to be able to do this right now. I just want to be better. And he's working his tail off in rehab, so as soon as we get that fixed, he'll be back out there. Yes, sir, Jeff.
See, Andrew Henry got some snaps fourth quarter, played well, has moved up to second on the depth chart. Is the depth chart reflective of what you should?
The second back right now would probably be Dorian. Andrew looked good on a couple runs. I don't think he's quite 100% yet. He's getting closer. He looked really good in practice today. He gives us another option back there. I thought his first third down run was really, really good. I thought the touchdown one was really, really good. He tried to break one outside. That it kind of showed up that he didn't look 100%. So we're going to continue to work him in as long as he's healthy, because we have that luxury, because we have some talented backs. But I don't quite see him at 100% yet. So Dorian would be the second one in right now behind Bill.
Coach, last week you said that you thought maybe your team was a little bit tight at the start of this first home game. Maybe a different issue going into this weekend's game because of all the emotions that go into playing New Mexico State. What about sort of balancing being amped up but also being smart?
That's going to be a huge key for both teams, is being disciplined and not getting silly penalties. I mean, when you have a game that has this much emotion involved, oftentimes you do silly things and it hurts your football team. When I was at ASU, we had a game against Arizona the first year in 2018. They had to put police at midfield to keep the two teams apart. I mean, there's no need for that. So if both teams come with the right mindset, that won't be an issue. But there's going to be passion in that game and emotion. So which team handled it the best will significantly affect the outcome of the game. And then we were uptight on defense for sure. I thought the offense came out and drove right down the field, did a great job on that first drive, and then we go 3 and out, and then we throw an interception. I thought the defense had an opportunity to get off the field on third down. 4 times we give them first downs with penalties. And then I'm usually pretty composed on the sideline and with how I talk to them and all those things. When I got them over to the sideline, I wasn't very because that's not our expectation. And it hasn't been our expectation on here on defense. We had one more series that I didn't like, the one that they got the field goal on right before the half. Then after that, I thought we played really good on defense. I thought we got better in the secondary. Obviously, we were better players than them. We got to be better this week than we were the first week, obviously, and continue to grow on that in those spots.
This is somewhat breaking news at the point, but Jerry Kill's press conference was canceled today. Apparently he's feeling under the weather. Do you have a quick comment on that?
I don't. I know nothing about it. I tell you this, I hope Coach Kill's okay. I hope he's here on Saturday. I'll pray for him because, I mean, he adds to this game. He's done a great job down there. Like I said, the family tree of football that I come up in with Dennis Franchione and with Coach Long and those, Jerry Kill's been a part of that family, so I've known him. He's a great football coach, and I hope he's here on Saturday, and I'll pray for him. Like I said, normally you don't talk to people you call. If there's something concerning, I'll call him and tell him that I'm praying for him and let him know. What else? Awesome. Thank you. Like I said, let's make this story about Lobo football versus New Mexico State. Let's get 45,000 people in there. Appreciate you guys coming. Go Lobos.